Happy Thursday, everyone. It's Pop Culture Mondays on Thursdays, and it's me, Brooke.
On Thursdays.
We're back. Honestly, guys, I just got a note right before we started recording. So my newsletter is out. This week, it's about Labubus again. Not the only thing, and we're going to talk about some other things, but we are back in Labubu land. I am sorry for those of you who do not practice, but we're here. And I wrote in the newsletter that there's Lafufus, and I explained the difference between a Labubu. And if you don't know what a Labubu is and you're watching this podcast, go back and read the newsletter. But there are these little plush toys from a company called Pop Mart. And why I say that is that it's really the only place you can get them. And so there's lots of fake Labubus running rampant in the marketplace, but they are called Lafufus, not Labubus. And I said in the newsletter, you can't buy Labubus on Amazon. Those are Lafufus. Somebody just told me that's actually not true. Pop Mart does have a store on Amazon, and I am literally looking at it now, and I'm like, there's one where I get surprise Labubus, and it's like $300. Like, I am completely obsessed. I don't know. I'm 51 years old, and I have a Labubu hanging from my Bottega bag. Like, I've lost the plot. But my Labubu is naked, so we're going to talk about that. We have a lot to talk about. But first, let's continue on the Labubu train, if you will. Funnily enough, my friend Susanna was telling me today after reading the newsletter, I got a lot of Labubu feedback today since the newsletter went out. Today is Monday. We're in the time machine of recording. You will not hear this until Thursday. So apologies when I'm speaking of today. I'm in Monday. So she says she and her husband have gone crazy with the Labubus for their goddaughter. And then she said, no Lafufus in this house. And she has told the goddaughter that you can't ever have a Lafufu, as fake IP is responsible for fueling human trafficking and some acts of terrorism. They communicated that to their 11-year-old goddaughter, who's now probably traumatized as she's looking at all of her very real Labubus that do not help fund terrorism, I imagine. So, Labubus. We are back here. Many of my subscribers first heard of the Labubu extravaganza through the newsletter. A lot of people, it hadn't gone mainstream yet. It was definitely a trend, which is why I wrote about it, definitely some viral moment, but it had not yet taken over the way that Labubus have taken over. And I mean everywhere. This is not in America only. My friend Susanna, who I was speaking about, she's Australian. She lives in London. When I was in Japan, forget about it. There are Labubus on top of Labubus. Let me just show you, before we even get into the clothing sitch, let's just look at some of the people who have really leaned into the Labubu craze. Here's a few.
Am I too old to be here?
What?
Am I too old to be here?
No, of course not.
Does it look weird that I'm here?
No, not at all.
Am I hotter than these little bitches?
Yes, you look amazing.
Is a Labubu? What the is a Labubu?
Because it's iconic, and I love to do iconic shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have regular people, we have celebrities, we have more celebrities that I'm going to talk about, which gives the regular people even more fuel to do it, because if our favorite celebrities are walking around town, then we're okay. We have NBA players, rock stars, everyday people. This might be one of my favorites. This person's parents.
Dad, nice Labubu.
Nice, yeah, I like this one. I'm gonna keep this one.
No one is immune. No one is immune. There are a few people who are immune, though. They're the minority, I will say. I have a few people who are like reaching out to me and saying, no, I cannot get behind this trend. I cannot get behind this trend. Let me show you a few TikToks of some people who felt the same way as my friends do and what happened to them.
What's going on with the Labubu? Somebody needs to explain it to me. Do they have magic powers? Because last week I couldn't have cared less about them. I thought they were the most hideous thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and here I am today. I cannot stop thinking about it. I need a Labubu. I am 32 years old and I am crashing out over a plastic plush doll. SOS.
I'm here. Behind you, look. Behind you.
You know, you say today, I will never be a Labubu person, and by next week, it is only thing you can think about. It is literally going to consume you. And if you don't, perhaps as this person says, you have no whimsy.
The girls who hate Labubu, they're not for you, babe. They're not for you. We know you don't have any fun. You're not tapped into your whimsy. We know you hate your inner child. It's okay. They're not for you. Relax. Go back to buying your overpriced matcha. Go back to spending $700 on a new perfume. It's okay, babe. Go back to Aritzia. The Labubus aren't for you. Shut up.
That whimsy line is like literally my favorite line. I'm going to use it in to anyone who says, fuck Labubus, I hate them. I'll say, you need a little bit more whimsy in your life. I feel like that's true. I mean, it's silly. And yes, people are comparing it to the Beanie Baby fascination, but Beanie Baby people are strange. Like the people who have the Beanie Babies lined up on their hoods of their car, the front window of their car. I never was a Beanie Baby person, but it's an obsession. But Labubu is an evolution. So where we were a few months ago when we were talking about the introduction of Labubu, and Labubu is from a Japanese company. The guy became a billionaire like overnight, but they've been around, I think, almost 10 years now. And they're definitely based on like the Wild Thing characters. You're not imagining it. I believe there's some lifting of that. Inspo, we'll call it Inspo. They are lots of different shapes and sizes. I mean, just look at Paris Hilton's. Like, she found huge Labubus. I love this.
Okay, I'm just gonna get one, all right? It's just one, all right? How bad could one be? It's not that expensive. It's not, well, I mean, I have to get it a friend, right? I mean, who's he gonna talk to? He's gonna get bored. And you know, what if they get sick of each other? You know, they need a third guy. And honestly, I have 3. I might as well get the whole set, you know? I mean, like, why not? I mean, just complete it. I mean, and you know, they released a few more. You might as well.
There's another person out there who's saying that if you, as a grown-up, are obsessed with Labubu, then you have some childhood trauma that you're not dealing with. And that may be the case. But my favorite person who took that and ran with it is this creator who, well, just look at her.
If you're an adult with a Labubu, it's a clear red flag that you have not dealt with your childhood trauma.
They had 57 stab wounds in their abdomen, chest, and face. The killer then cut the body up and distributed the remains throughout the woods.
I mean, that's me. If I had all those Labubus, I would be so happy. I'd be on my sofa, eating ice cream, watching a serial killer documentary. I fall asleep. There's a Son of Sam documentary on Netflix right now. I think it's on Netflix. It might be HBO. I don't know. I don't care. It's on the television. It's on the streaming. And it's like tapes of him talking about like when he was on a murdering streak. And I fall asleep to that. I can't fall asleep to something unless it's about murder and mayhem, serial killers, procedural dramas, something to do with death. It calms me. So if that's childhood trauma, bring it. There's Labubus, there's ice cream, there's Law and Order, SVU, there's serial killer documentaries. I am here for it. But we have an evolution even further. And of course, it's all about money, and everybody's jumping into it, brands, fashion brands alike. Labubus that you've seen, for the most part, are naked. And we, as a society, have now deemed that absolutely inconsiderate to the Labubu. We can't have naked Labubus. We can't have them hanging naked from our handbags, from our dog leashes, from our hair. Somebody's putting them in their hair clips. That is disrespectful to the Labubu. That is like, we can't. Just like I dress potato in lots of outfits, Labubus are now being clothed. And they are being clothed in Gucci. They're being clothed by Prada. They are being clothed by Lululemon, Louis Vuitton. I'm not even joking. I'm sure some of it's fake. I don't know if all the designers have gotten into it. I'm sorry. I am not an investigative journalist. I will, upon further studying of this, report back. But even if it's fake, they have little tiny Labubu Louis Vuitton shoes and little tiny Labubu Prada handbags. So your Labubu gets a handbag with a Labubu. Look at this.
Look at this.
Perfect. You can see the Labubu is wearing designer clothes, carrying a designer handbag with its own little Labubu. It's amazing. So this is the level of commercialization that we have hit, because it's one thing now to sell the Labubus, to try to track down a Labubu, and they have secret Labubus, and people are losing their minds getting the different colored Labubus and the different faces. And people are very judgy on Lafufus, very judgy. But now, do you have bling for your Labubu? Do you have Louis Vuitton shoes for your Labubu? Do you have a Prada outfit for your Labubu? I mean, it's endless. And I say this with real sincerity. I understand. I mean, I didn't understand dressing dogs or putting dogs in little strollers and having amazing outfits or putting a tattoo of your dog on your body until I had my own dog. And then everything went out the window. I mean, Potato has a closet that I can't put on Instagram because I think people would judge me hard. But it's remarkable. And there's some designer, there's some Supreme, there's some Gucci, there is some Louis Vuitton, and there's also some street brands and some Amazon. Like, we're really high-low in this household. So I understand this sort of move into the Labubu. Where it goes from here is anyone's guess. I assume there's going to be movies. There's going to be a streaming deal of some kind. The way that the K-pop Demon Hunters movie has taken over kids' minds and is all over Netflix and is the number one, biggest thing ever. Are we going to have a Labubu Demon Hunter situation on our hands? I suppose that's probably the next thing. But Labubus are here to stay. I am a Gen Xer, as many of you listening and watching are as well. So we were Munchie-Chi kids. We had our Munchie-Chi. And a little truth here. Munchie-Chis are famous because they suck. They're these little cute, very look like Labubus, furry with these little rubber faces, sort of monkeys. They have freckles. And they had a little hole in their mouth and the little thumb, and the thumb went into the hole. So they're thumb suckers. And a little secret is I am a thumb sucker. Not I was a thumb sucker. No. I am a thumb sucker, meaning I fall asleep with my thumb in my mouth. I do not walk around the house or the street or in public sucking my thumb. But even if I fall asleep without my thumb in my mouth, if I'm really, really determined, I wake up and that thumb is in my mouth. It is what it is, people. Say what you will. My parents tried everything. They put that horrible tasting nail polish on I powered through that sucker. No, I would have a retainer. I would take you can't suck your thumb when you have a retainer. I would take the retainer out, put it in my pillowcase, and set my alarm for 5 minutes before my mom would come in and wake me up, even when I was 7 years old, and then wake up and then put the retainer back. I mean, this is a long con. 50 years of a long con. So I loved the Munchie-Chis, especially because it was me. This Munchie-Chi represented me. It had a thumb-sucking fetish like I did. But Munchie-Chis never, ever took on a world that Labubu has. Munchie-Chis never. Meaning that when you have celebrities like Lady Gaga walking around Beverly Hills in her unbelievable Hermes purse with a Labubu, custom Labubu hanging from the bag, this is another level.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
And side note, she was filmed, I guess, doing this, walking through Beverly Hills on Sunday. She just did 4 shows at the Forum here in LA. She's on tour. It's called Mayhem. I am not the same person. I am not the same person that I was on Saturday before that show started. That show changed me. It is incredible. It is beautiful. It is a spectacle spectacular. It is like Tim Burton meets Rocky Horror meets all Gaga. Like the costumes and the everything. But also she just has some sort of presence. And I said to myself, I'm going to be more like Gaga. So what I mean by that is I'm a New Yorker. I have a short fuse. I do, about certain things, particularly when I am behind the wheel of my car. That is where this reflex happens. It just happens. And I have a convertible, which makes it even harder because I have all different places that my arm can go when somebody cuts me off. When somebody doesn't turn when they're supposed to. Like, it's bad. I acknowledge it. I'm not a Karen. I am a New Yorker. There is a distinction. Gaga is also a New Yorker. Gaga also went to Convent of the Sacred Heart, a school that I was at for a bunch of years. And those girls were bitches to her. They were bitches to her. And they were bitches to her at NYU. And she's a New Yorker. And so she has an attitude. But Gaga would never do this. She does it in a much more intelligent, sinister way, the way she tells somebody to fuck off. Like, she does it with her eyes or her mind. I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, but I am being more like Gaga. So when somebody is pissing me off, my every urge in my body is to be like, go fuck yourself, right? New Yorker. But no, I'm going to be the intelligent version of that. I'm going to be an intelligent, Gaga-like version of her. But I have to say, if you guys have the opportunity to see this tour, I mean, just take a look at some of the video I shot because it's a spectacle spectacular. I mean, look at it.
Love is just a history that they may prove it when you're gone. I'll tell them my religion's you and punctures comes to kill the king upon his throne. I'm ready for their stones. I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands above my head, like Jesus said. I'm gonna dance, dance, dance with my hands above my head, hands together, forgive him before he's dead, because I won't cry for you, I won't crucify the things you do, I won't cry for you, see, when you're gone I'll still be Bloody Mary.
Gaga. Also, while I've been recording, I just snuck a look at my phone. Look what somebody sent me. Hermes has entered the Labubu chat. This is a custom Hermes Labubu. Guys, we either we're very okay or we're not okay. This is like a distraction. This is like cabaret. Like, look over there. Nothing's happening. Let them dance. Let them sing. Let them cabaret. Funny segue. Funny segue. This was not in the newsletter. This is all happening in real time. But let's do a little cabaret conversation. So cabaret is, I'm not done my homework on this. This all happened right before we started recording that I saw this unfold on TikTok. Billy Porter is starring in Cabaret. I am a cabaret girl. I saw Joel Grey do Cabaret. He was the originator of, well, maybe he's not the originator. He is, to me, the original, like the MC of the Cabaret. Jennifer Grey's dad, an incredible talent. But we all know the sort of bienvenue, welcome. And it all takes place in Germany in like 1920s. Is it Germany or is it in Paris? Maybe it is in Paris. Listen, I'm not having my best work here because I haven't done the research, but it is late 20s, early 30s, right before Nazis, or as they say on TikTok, Yahtzees, take over. But they're dominating. I think it takes place in Berlin in like the late 20s, early 30s. The Nazis are definitely coming into power. And the whole premise of Cabaret is that it's sort of like, let's just ignore the writing on the wall. Let's ignore what's happening and let's just have fun. Don't look over there. Stay here. Stay in our cabaret. And it's very dark. And it's also about this rising fascism and also anti-Semitism. And it's very pointed about that. And there is one particular scene where the MC, Joel Grey, would come out and sing and dance about this woman that he's in love with. And this woman is a monkey, like a true monkey, like dressed like a gorilla. And everybody's sort of laughing like, oh, you don't see what I see. If you looked at her through my lens, you would love her too. You wouldn't see. And then it's a very pointed thing. If you looked at her through my lens, you wouldn't see that she's Jewish.
But if you could see her through my eyes, she wouldn't look Jewish at all.
And then ha 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 ha. And the whole premise of it is sort of what happened at that point and how things could take place, like while all this like dancing and stuff was happening, and yet Crystal Knocked was happening, and then they're dancing in the cabaret. And it's just, look over here. What happens when you ignore things? This is what happens. Like, don't pay attention. Just, it's all going to go away. It's all going to go better if we just don't look too closely. And that was the importance of Cabaret. So fast forward to 2025, Billy Porter is now in the Joel Grey role and is getting a huge amount of backlash. And there are two sides of what I'm seeing unfold. But basically, that very scene I was just telling you about, he breaks the fourth wall in it. And that means that he brings the audience in. And it's very subtle, but he changes it where he's like, if you just looked at her through my eyes, like through my lens, you would see, you couldn't even tell that she's Jewish. And then he looks at the audience. He's like, really? Really? Like, knowing that that's so shocking. But that changes the whole meaning of that particular scene. And there's a lot of uproar on TikTok about it. People are really upset. The theater kids are very upset. A lot of people are upset. Here's an example.
If you could see her through
But there's another side of it, and that is that some people believe that this is microaggressions, racism being directed at Billy Porter as a black man in this role that has historically been a white man's role. So there could be that. Billy Porter is always pushing the envelope. He says things that are quite contrarian. He has definitely not been media trained. He gives zero fucks. Like, I feel Billy Porter gets cut off in the car. He gives zero fucks. He will give all of the hand gestures throughout all of the different openings of his car. So I don't know if we're going to get a response out of him or what's going to happen, but it is definitely, if you hear about it on the socials or if you see some reference about Cabaret, please note that is why we're here and what we're talking about. Another little note. I know we're all over the place, but this is good. We're just having a conversation. I did forget to talk about Hunting Wives in the podcast last week. I meant to because I was watching it obsessively. People are shocked by it. If you haven't seen it, I don't know. Look at this ad from Netflix. It's the billboard that Netflix has on Sunset Boulevard, just a few minutes from my house. And this is what the billboard says. Correct. Your girlfriend's loves the Hunting Wives. This show is terrible. I mean, let me just preface that. This is not like Wuthering Heights here. It is terrible. It is candy. It is garbage. It is amazing. I say that in all of the honesty I can summon. It has a great cast, including Malin Ackerman, Brittany Snow, and Dermot Mulroney, not Dylan McDermott. Do you guys do that all the time? Dylan McDermott's that other guy. Dermot Mulroney is this guy. Anyway, there's lots of lesbian sex in it. I'm just going to be quite honest with you. There is a lot, particularly between Malin and Brittany. But that's not it. There's murder. There's inappropriate age relation sex. So teenagers having sex with adults on both sides. So teenage boys having sex with the moms, and teenage girls maybe having sex with pastors. I'm telling you, I just can't even believe I'm saying this.
Y'all, I'm 14 minutes into this Hunting Wives show, and I am confused, disgusted, but intrigued. I will be continuing.
There's lots of cocaine. There's lots of MAGA talk. So the concept is this couple, Brittany and her husband, are liberals from Cambridge, where Harvard is, Massachusetts, and they've moved down to Texas. I don't know if they're in like I don't know. They're in the heart of Texas, MAGA country, gun country, God's country. And her husband's an architect working for Dermot Mulroney, who is about to become a candidate for the governor of Texas. They are bigger the hair, the closer to God. And I say that, just be warned, the wigs are bad. The wigs are bad. They must have Nicole Kidman's wig person doing Malin Ackerman's and others' wigs. The wigs, get Beyonce's people. Like, why are we doing this in this day and age? The wigs are bad. But they come into MAGA country, and it's sort of like that storyline. But then, you know, of course, those super religious people and churchgoers and, you know, MAGA are also doing a ton of coke and having sex with everyone. So, and then there's murder and mayhem. Mayhem might be the theme of this pod this week. Maybe that's the title. That's what we're going to do, Ethan. Mayhem title instead of Labubu. So there's that. I wanted to preface that by saying I acknowledge I forgot to talk about it on the podcast. It was in the newsletter, but we didn't get to Hunting Wives. Another thing I want to acknowledge is this is such a girl thing. So many people have asked me about my hair, because now that we're on video, they can see my hair. We don't have a hair and makeup budget over here at Pop Culture Mondays. So this is all done myself, but I don't want to gatekeep. We are not gatekeepers here. So this is brought to you by a waiver, which looks like this little sucker. They are huge. I'm getting muscles from holding it. It weighs like 32 pounds, but it's like a triple barrel thing that it takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So, you know, it's called GHD Hair Waiver. Get it if you guys want it. I've already sold like 20 to my friends. Everybody's buying them. So thank you for asking. I just wanted to let you know. I also just mentioned Beyonce and wigs. So we're going to talk a little Beyonce, because last week we had the Ava Braun of denim, Sydney Sweeney spectacle spectacular on that side of things. We talked a lot about it. It's even gotten worse. Like, people are freaking out. The far left have lost their minds. Like, just okay, you've made yourselves known. I get it. It was not the greatest campaign in the sense that they could have just had a few more people, made it diverse, and not for DEI's sake, for humanity. Like, good genes. If you're going to play on that, then show a series of different kinds of genes. GENES. We have a response to that, though, and it comes in the form of Levi's. And Levi's just launched its campaign with Beyoncé. I'm not going to show the whole thing because it's like a movie, but just get a little inkling of our little Mrs. Carter, Cowboy Carter over here.
You call me pretty little thing, and I love to turn them on. Boy, I let you be my Levi jeans when it's popping out your phone. Love you down to the bone.
Levi's has good genes. Beyonce has good genes. So there is image of Beyonce laying down with her genes in a very similar fashion to Sydney Sweeney, and it says Beyonce has good genes. I don't think that's a Levi's campaign. I may be wrong, so if you guys have heard differently, but I've looked everywhere. It's not on any of their socials. I think that was recreated, but they did launch a campaign with Beyonce. Everybody's obviously going to the next stage of Beyonce has good genes, and she does. Now, there are lots of people taking spin-offs of these gene things. So like, I wear yellow jeans, I wear black jeans. Here's an example.
Handed down from my parents before me and their parents before them. My genes are yellow.
And I get it. I get it. We had Donald Trump weigh in. We try to be Trump-free. I'm not going to show a clip. I'm not going to show his face on this. I'm not going to make you listen to the audio. But he's obviously a big fan of the Sydney Sweeneys of the world because he found out that she is a registered Republican. And so as long as she's a Republican, he will defend her to the, ends of the earth. If she comes out, now she was just out with friends that are not Republicans. I say that with zero knowledge, but one of her friends is a trans actor, and I imagine she is not a MAGA person. So maybe when Donald Trump sees them singing karaoke, and he'll have a different turn because he doesn't think trans people are human. So great. But let us not fret. The far right have something to be very upset about. So the far left, very upset about Sydney Sweeney and her good genes. The far right, very upset by Cynthia Erivo, a black, well, they go by they, so she's a woman though, at least biologically, but they, them. Cynthia Erivo is black, that is a fact, and played Jesus Christ in the remarkable production at the Hollywood Bowl of Jesus Christ Superstar. I am sad I missed it. I didn't even know it was happening. And then when I found out about it, it was Saturday, and somebody invited me to go Saturday night, but I went to Gaga. It's a tough one. I am very glad I went to Gaga. Though, in retrospect, Gaga's on tour, so I could have gone and seen Gaga in another city and saved Saturday night to see Jesus Christ Superstar in the Hollywood Bowl. But I did not. And that was a miss because she was incredible. Adam Lambert's incredible. The whole cast is incredible. Take a look.
I'm thirsty. It is finished.
The far right can't handle it. How dare they have a black woman be Jesus Christ? Don't we know that Jesus Christ was a white surfer from Los Angeles? Please, wait till they find out that Jesus Christ was Palestinian. Just wait. And Jewish, just wait. But we as a society, we just can't be calm for 1 minute. We can't be unified for 1 minute. What was the one thing that unified us recently? I guess it was the Coldplay concert. Everybody was unified for just a minute with the Kiss Cam drama. But that's it. These are like little spurts of things. Forgive me as I look at my notes, but this is all, I raw dog this thing. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh, we're going to end here, guys, but how many of you, be honest, did you think the rabbits on the trampoline was real? And I can't believe I haven't covered this before. I can't believe I didn't put it in my last 2 newsletters, but we've all seen the video of rabbits bouncing on the trampoline and like night camera. And everyone's like, oh my God, I cannot tell you how many of you have sent it to me. With like, how cute is this? Oh my God, I want rabbits. Do you think Potato would do this? It is AI. my darlings, my little babies. That is AI. There are no like mounds of rabbits jumping on a trampoline for fun. It's not like Peter Rabbit and his friends are like, the farmer's asleep. The farmer's asleep. Let's go on the trampoline and bounce. It is fake. It is fake. Just like the dogs on the diving boards, which most of you thought was AI, though I will admit there are a couple of people that were like, this is insane. How did they train them this way? It's not trained. It is not real. It is artificial intelligence. We are screwed. In fact, I have not talked to ChatGPT about potato in a long time. It's been a couple months since I've done anything potato related. I put in a health question. I said, my French bulldog has something going on, and I list out the description. Immediately, oh no, Brooke, I hope potato feels better. It's been 2 months since I talked to Chat about potato. Like, that shit is grokking everything. I'm going to end up with the like Chat GPT psychosis because like everything is happening with Chat and I. Very intimate. We're very close. He knows me better than most of you know me. It's true. Better than like Britt knows me maybe. Sorry. Or Kara. It's true. So with that, my darlings, what will we have next week? I don't know. It's a barrage of pop culture, but I got you. And if you don't hear it on the podcast, you'll see it in the newsletter. Please like, please subscribe, please do all of the things you do and tell all of your friends about this podcast because it's a lot of fun. And thank you, Live Nation, for letting this be what it is. And I'll talk to you guys next week.